Howdy champs, my name is Mohit and people, today I'm going to show you how to make CSS3 media queries work in older versions of IE 6 to 8 rather, 6, 7 and 8. Media queries are compatible with IE versions 9 and above and with most contemporary modern browsers, but there's an issue with IE. In fact, before I talk about anything, let me show you how things appear in different sizes of the browser. Alright, let's go to the multi-screen preview. Now, why do we actually write media queries? So that we can, have a different view on the mobile, on the tablet, and on the desktop. That is the reason why we actually query on the media. Depending on so many times, it's the width of the handheld device or the screen rather. All right, so have a look at the way it actually appears on the phone, on a tablet, and the way it actually appears on a desktop. It's different, isn't it? You see, the font size is actually dropping as we shift from a desktop to a tablet. It drops even further on a phone. The images do actually scale down too. So this image size is not quite the same as this image size, right? The texture, if you notice carefully, is scaling down. This texture, although is the same as this texture, is actually scaled down, and the same is the case out here on the phone view. So how is this kind of a shift happening? Also notice people, the padding that we have used between the border and the image is very little out here, increases a little bit out here, and is the maximum out here. So the font size is dynamic, the padding is dynamic, and so is the background texture. It is changing with the viewport size or the browser window size. Right. So how was this change made possible? It was made possible with CSS3 media queries, but as I talked about earlier, the problem is IE 6, 7 and 8, and I've countered that too. Okay, let's take up a browser preview first in IE and show you that no matter whether you test it in IE 6, 7 or 8, it's not going to make a difference. Let me press F12 so that I can go to, let's say, browser mode IE 7. Notice there was no change out here. Let me expand the size and notice how the tiling or the brick tiling has actually increased in size. So has the font size, and notice how the tiling has scaled down, so has the font size. And let's see what happens if I drop it down even further to the mobile size. See how the font size changed, and also notice that the image is scaling down. Right. So the way the media queries have been written allow us to make them work in the older versions of IE 6, 7, 8. In fact, I'm going to show you how this was made possible from scratch in a separate new file. You'll actually need this CSS3-media queries.javascript file so that you can tackle the older browsers. You'll need this file, but in order for this JavaScript file to work, you'll need to write your media queries internal or embedded and not using the link tag at all, people, because this is necessary for the JavaScript file to work. Otherwise this JavaScript file is not going to work. All the assets will be bundled up together in a zip format, and you can actually download them, including the only image that we have, the different background textures. Everything will be all bundled up together. Okay, first we're going to learn how to write media queries using the link tag, and then how to actually convert them into internal or embedded styles. We're going to using the @media statement. Let's see how this was made possible. So we're going to work in a new separate file from scratch. Let's start. I'm going to save a file in a new. Choose HTML5 as the doc type. Let's say create. Let's save the file up. Let's call it MQ1 Media Queries 1. We already have a file by the name MQ. Okay. Let's apply MQ as the title. Okay, let's make sure that you are after the title tag. Go to insert, go down to media queries, and next step is to just hit the default presets. We have defaults ready for phone, tablet and desktop. All you need to do is create a new CSS file if not already ready. Since we don't have it ready, I'm gonna give them file names. So I'm gonna call it phone. Come out here, I'm gonna call it tablet for the tablet, and for the desktop I'm gonna give it a name, desktop. People, these sizes and the media queries are pushed in at default presets. If I say OK, notice the kind of change that's going to happen to the code area. In line number 5, we have a meta tag going that facilitates the act, and then we have 3 link tags going that are gonna link up to the phone CSS, the tablet CSS and the desktop CSS. I can just push in my CSS out here and my media queries are gonna work, but as I told you earlier, I need to write it out inline, or rather internal, embedded, not use the link tag and keep it external, so that my JavaScript file is going to fire. So let's see how this was actually done. I'm going to go out here after the title tag. I'm going to say Control X, go out here in line number 13, paste it out here. Let's see how we're going to change it to @media statement. So I'm going to say @media, remove this bit and this bit, and add 2 curly brackets, but make sure whatever is internal has to go inside the opening closing style tags. So style tags, using the Zen coding plugin, people, I'm just expanding it a little faster than you anticipated. I'm going to push it between the opening and the closing script tags. Now whatever CSS is going to go out here between lines 14 and 17 is going to apply to the mobile or the phone size or devices only. Okay, similarly, let me just cut it out from here and paste it out here. Okay, make the conversion to internal @media. Remove the space, add the space, I'm sorry, remove this bit and add the 2 curly braces. Okay, now whatever goes inside out here between lines 19-22 is the CSS that's going to apply to the tablet size. Let's examine the way the media statement is. So @media only screen. So for screen sizes where the maximum width is 320 phones, @media only screen, the screen size has a min width of 321, max of 768. Devices targeted tablets. It's a comment, people. Similarly, let's cut this much out. Control X, paste it out here. Control V, @media statement. So @media, add the space, and yep, alrighty. So the CSS for the desktops should go in out here. It's actually that simple. Let me say save, file and a save, and let's bring in the CSS for the phone, for the tablet and for the desktop out here from the file that I'd shown you earlier. Let's say a Control C and push it out here, and then let's examine it. As far as the mobile size is concerned, or the mobile devices is concerned, I would want the background image to use a texture which is, in terms of scale, the smallest. This is the name. Right. The color, the font color is going to be white, and the font size is going to be 80%. The image or any video, if present, should have a maximum width of 95%, a padding of 4, and a border applied to the image of the video of 1px solid ghost white. Cool. So this bit of CSS, I've pushed it inside here, and it's going to apply to medias, which are actually screens where the maximum width is 320. How very simple. Let's go back to the earlier file. Let's push in the CSS for the tablets. So a Control C, and let's push in out here. We made some changes out here. The texture has slightly scaled up, so the size of the texture is slightly bigger, okay, for the tablet size, and understandably so. The font size has been upped from an 80% to 100%. Everything else remains just the same, but the max width has for the image or the video has been dropped to a 75% from a 95% for the tablet size. And the padding has been upped from 4px to a 6px for the tablet size. The border remains just the same. How very simple and how very cool. Right. Now let's get in the CSS for the desktop size. Let's say a Control C and pushing out here Control V. Okay, now let's see the changes that have happened out here. The background image texture is scaled up now, so we are using a different image now. Okay, the font size has been up from 100% to 120% for the desktop size. So there's a change out here. The padding has been upped for the image to a 8px, and notice we have used a 2px border for the tablets as well as the desktops, but for the mobiles we've actually used 1px only, right? So padding has been upped, font size has been upped, but the maximum width for the image stays at 75%, which was actually 95% of the total width available for the mobile size. Since the mobile size is as such really small, that's the reason I didn't keep it 75%, but upped it to a 95% out here. So it's a little bit of common sense that you need to use. That's how your web page is going to be dynamic. Just use a little bit of common sense, and it's actually really easy. Now next what I'm going to do is just grab these two lines and push it inside the body of the document. That's exactly where whatever you push it there is going to be visible on the web page. So opening, closing body tags, and just push it out here. Right, so very, very easy. And there was one more change that I needed to make, which is that I needed to get the JavaScript file going after the style tag. So for the so that no compatibility issues actually arrive with IE 6, 7, and 8. Let's push in out here. Alrighty. Okay. Let's save things up and let's have a look up in the browser. Allow block content. Okay, now something is not quite right. Let me just check why. I'm going to pause the video for a bit. Alright, I've actually figured out what the problem is. I cannot have comments going in out here. Let's remove the comment. Comment 1, comment 2, comment 3, and notice everything is just the way I actually wanted it to be. Right, so people, now let me just save it up. Let's say file and a save. Show you a multi-screen preview. Perfect. Okay, Notice that the font size is the biggest out here, has dropped out here and has dropped even further. Alright, the padding is different for the different screen resolutions. Right, and the max width that I've used for the image is also changing, ever changing. True. Let's bring it up in the browser IE to be absolutely sure that it's working in all versions of IE. Preview it up, allow block content, press F12 so that I can actually shift to F8. I'll shift to browser mode IE8 this time. Let's minimize. Let's see how it actually works. See the way the tiling actually changes. It's not the tiling, the brick tiling has actually dropped in size. See the font size dropping. See the padding for the image actually dropping. Yep. Right. So working perfectly in IE8 will work in IE7 too. Right. So people, you saw how I actually incorporated this JS file and made the CSS3 media queries compatible with older versions of IE 6, 7 and 8 people. Let me show you a local site folder once again. This is it. You see the brick texture is different. Let me start with the smallest one. This is for the mobile size. This is for the tablet size. This is the one that was used for the desktop size. I'm going to bundle everything together. Everything together, including these CSS. No, in fact, I wouldn't be needing these external CSS files. But everything that is relevant, I'm going to bundle it up together, keep it in a zip format, so that when you download it, you're going to get this very important JavaScript file too. Alrighty. So people, I hope you found this information useful, and I also hope that you'll sub, you'll comment, and you'll keep coming back for more and more tutorials from me. You have a good day. Bye-bye. Peace.